Good day and welcome to another edition of Sharing Trade Information on Global Trade Tutor. In this series of video, I'll be talking about China. Now, China is a very important country, a country that is the largest exporter in the world and second largest importer in the world. US is the largest importer in the world and second largest exporter in the world. China has become a major force in recent time, and any individual looking to do business in any country, you definitely want to do business with China, particularly sending raw materials and intermediate product to China. It's important to know that intermediate product is a big deal now in the world. Intermediate product basically means the product is not raw and the product is not finished. And China, being an industrial nation, highly industrialized nation, purchase a lot of these kind of products, particularly primary raw materials and intermediate product, because all these help them to be able to create jobs for their people. As a matter of fact, I'm aware there are some products you can't export finished to China. Why? Because it must be processed in China. Now, these are the kind of policy that China have in mind, or China have put in place to be able to ensure that its country is not a dumping ground, but rather its country, so is the import of China is deliberately targeted to be able to attract raw materials required for manufacturing and intermediate product required for production within the country. In fact, sometimes governments set up a trading company and government fund those trading companies, and those trading companies purchase these raw materials and stockpile them so that when organizations, manufacturing companies, factories need them and they don't have enough cash, they can buy from this trading company. This trading company can even help them issue a letter of credit while the good is on the way. Then they can pay this trading company later. These are the kind of policy and initiative that China has put in place, beyond also the incentive that China gives to its businesses. Now, in this series, I'll be looking at, it's going to be about 20 videos, and I'll be looking at different products, from raw materials to machine and equipment, to precious metals, to transportation, to metal product, to oil product, to foodstuff, to clothing, to different products, animal product, packaged medicament, chemical product that China is importing into its country. By the way, the import volume of China is over $2 trillion. Global trade is just about 24, $25 trillion. And China alone is taking up over $2 trillion. That tells you the level of dependence of the global economy on China. So let's go. I move now to discuss paper product. Paper product. Now, apart from the fact that 26 billion was used to import paper product in China, I discovered that the raw material for paper constitute 50%, because China produces a lot of paper. Like I said, I'm just emphasizing that by the item of import item that a country import, you can have an idea of the nature of that country, can have an idea of the seriousness of that country, can have an idea of the development of that country, can have an idea of the trajectory of that country, and China is demonstrating that to the extent that a sulfate chemical wood pulp, a material used in producing paper, constitute 50%, a whopping 50%. That means about 13 billion or $13.15 billion is what China is using to importing wood pulp, sulfate chemical wood pulp. Now, dissolving grade chemical wood pulp, 12.1%. Still wood pulp, again, 62% now. Other uncoated paper, 9.74%. Recovered paper pulp, 4.63%. Semi-chemical wood pulp, 2.58%. Toilet paper, 1.6%. Cellulose fiber, 1.59%. Kraft paper, 3.97%. Kaolin coated paper, 3.19%. Kraft paper, 3.97%. Brochures, 1.21%. Newsprint, 1.1%. Printed materials, 1.2%. Uncoated paper, 0.9%. Shape paper, 0.87%. And recovered paper, 0.73%. Label paper, 0.5%. And mechanical wool pulp, 0.51%. You can see how much China is spending on paper, importation of paper and paper product, importation of paper and paper product.